Hello, and welcome back to Trending Japan. I'm Sakura.
And I'm Alex. Today's topics in Japan are why a tiny Chinese rabbit toy has basically taken over the entire country, and what it says about how we decide what's actually cute anymore.
That's right. We're talking about Labubu. And trust me, if you've walked through Shibuya or Shinjuku in the last few months, you've definitely seen someone carrying one.
I literally saw 3 people on the train yesterday all holding the exact same thing. I was like, is this a cult? Should I be concerned?
It's not a cult, but it is a fascinating window into Japanese consumer culture, peer pressure, and how we've kind of outsourced our sense of what's cute. So stick around.
Yeah, because honestly, before we started researching this, I didn't even know what a Labubu was. Now I can't stop seeing them everywhere.
By the end of this episode, you'll understand why, and maybe even why you'll want one too.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What even is a Labubu?
Great question. Labubu, that's Labubu in Japanese, is a collectible vinyl toy created by a Chinese artist and designer named Ka-Sing Lung. It's this cute rabbit-like character with a big head, small body, and these really expressive eyes.
So it's basically a blind box collectible, like you don't know which version you're getting?
Exactly, and that's part of the genius of the marketing strategy. You buy it sealed, you don't know which variant you're getting, so people keep buying them trying to complete the whole collection. It's like Pokémon cards, but for your desk.
Right, so it started in China and then it just exploded in Japan?
Yes, but here's the thing, and this is what makes it interesting. Labubu didn't blow up in Japan because people suddenly thought it was the cutest thing ever. It blew up because other people were already carrying it.
Wait, so it's not about the toy itself being cute?
Well, it's cute, sure, but the real phenomenon is about what I'd call the externalization of taste. In Japanese, we might say people lost the ability to judge kawaii, cuteness, for themselves.
That's wild. So people are basically asking, is this cute? And the answer they give themselves is, well, everyone else is carrying it, so it must be.
Exactly. And this ties into something really important in Japanese society, the concept of Dōchō Atsuryoku, or Dōchō Atsuryoku. It literally means conformity pressure. It's this deep cultural tendency to follow what the group is doing, rather than standing out as an individual.
That's fascinating. So it's not just hype, it's kind of baked into how Japanese society works.
Deeply, and Labubu arrived at the perfect moment. Japan's social media ecosystem is huge, especially platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Influencers started carrying Labubu, posting photos with them, and suddenly it wasn't just a toy, it was a status symbol. It said, I'm in the know, I'm part of this trend.
So the influencers were the spark.
They were the match, but the fire was already ready to catch because of the conformity pressure I mentioned. People were looking for permission to want something, and when they saw influencers and celebrities carrying Labubu, that was the permission slip they needed.
In the US, we'd probably just call it FOMO, fear of missing out, right? But it sounds like in Japan it's deeper than that?
It is. FOMO is more individual. I'm going to miss out on something cool. But Dōchō Atsuryoku is about not wanting to be left behind by the group. It's almost like an anxiety about being different. And honestly, there's historical and social reasons for that in Japan.
What do you mean?
Well, Japan's a homogeneous society, historically. For centuries, there was this emphasis on group harmony, the concept of wa, or wa. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down, right? That's a very Japanese saying.
Oh, wow. So that's not new. That goes back generations.
Generations. And even though modern Japan is changing, that instinct still runs deep in how people make decisions. So when Labubu came along and everyone started carrying it, it tapped into this deep cultural pattern. You didn't have to think about whether you liked it. You just knew you needed to have it because everyone else did.
So it's kind of a perfect storm. You've got this cute toy, you've got influencer culture, and you've got this deep cultural thing about conformity.
And then add one more thing, the collectability factor. Because it's a blind box and there are rare variants, you can't just buy one Labubu and be satisfied. You want the rare colors, the limited editions, so people start spending hundreds of dollars trying to complete their collection.
That's genius marketing, honestly.
It really is. But here's where it gets interesting for us as observers of Japanese culture. This whole Labubu phenomenon tells us something about a shift that's happening in Japan right now. More and more, especially among younger people, there's this kind of outsourcing of personal taste. They're asking TikTok and Instagram influencers, what should I like? What's cute? Instead of deciding for themselves.
So is this bad? Is this something people are worried about?
It's being discussed, yeah. Some cultural critics in Japan are concerned that we're losing the ability to form independent aesthetic judgments. Like, when did we stop trusting our own instincts about what's beautiful or cute? When did we start needing a celebrity to tell us?
That's pretty heavy.
It is, and it's not unique to Labubu. It's just the most visible example. You see it with fashion trends, makeup trends, even what restaurants people go to. There's this constant checking. Is this trending? Are people doing this? Am I behind?
But I guess that's kind of universal now with social media.
True, but I think it hits differently in a culture that already has this deep DNA of conformity pressure. In individualistic cultures like the US or UK, you might see trends too, but there's also this strong counter-narrative of be yourself and stand out. In Japan, that counter-narrative is weaker, so when a trend hits, it hits hard and it lasts.
So does that mean Labubu is going to be huge forever?
No, definitely not. Trends in Japan move fast, but they also fade fast. The next cute thing will come along and everyone will switch. That's actually part of the cycle, the pressure to stay current, to move on to the next trend.
Which just feeds the whole conformity thing even more.
Exactly. You're always performing, always updating, always checking what everyone else is doing. It can be kind of exhausting, honestly.
So to recap, Labubu isn't huge in Japan just because it's cute. It's huge because of a perfect combination of influencer marketing, the blind box collecting mechanic, and this really deep cultural instinct toward group conformity that goes back centuries.
And it raises a question that I think applies way beyond toys. When did we stop asking ourselves, do I actually like this? And start asking, is everyone else doing this?
So here's something to think about. What's a trend you followed recently just because everyone else was doing it? Was it because you genuinely loved it or because you didn't want to be left behind? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed unpacking this little window into Japanese culture and consumer psychology, don't forget to like and subscribe for more episodes like this.
We'll be back next week with another fascinating trend from Japan.
Until next time, mata ne!
Mata ne!